interesting article that I seen on Errol Spence. We're gonna go ahead and chop it up. The article talks about Errol Spence. You know, can he rise again? Is he going to be a phoenix? Or basically, is he going to fade into oblivion? That's basically what the article is about. And I thought it was interesting because they're talking about, you know, Errol Spence being a shadow of his former self. And it's interesting to me that they take up that position now of looking at Errol Spence like that, when the crime really is, before he fought Crawford, there was no talks or taken to any consideration of looking at him like this. It did come, but it come from a group of people that Errol Spence fan base branded as haters, you know, branded them as haters, when really we was just calling it like we see it. That's why I say, this is what happens when you let reality escape with you. That's going to be the thing for the whole year. Everybody going to suffer from having reality escape from them. Same thing with Jerron and stuff like that. If you can't keep it 100 about what's going on and what you're seeing, I don't get how you can have a conversation. But nonetheless, they're asking, can he rise again? And this is the thing. It's not a question if Errol Spence can rise again. You know, the fact that he has such fair weather fans is just amazing to me. But it's very simple to me what happened to Errol Spence. Habits and stuff like that, they mean things, you know. Now, as I'm reading this article, and they going on talking about what Errol Spence need to do to get back to the top, and they talking about this dude need to ride a bike to the gym. He needs to throw out the TV. He needs to live a Spartan life. He needs to chew grain. He need to do push-ups with tooth floss or whatever. I don't know, but it was some extreme shit. But I get what they were trying to go with it. But this is the funny thing: isn't that the lifestyle that you talking about? Ain't that the lifestyle that Crawford got? You see that? Now the stuff that you talking about, see, now all the flash and the choker chains and all that, doing all that, you know, stanky leg dancing, whatever they doing, partying, clubbing, drinking. Now that you see what that renders at the end of the day, now you talking about he need to move like Crawford. But yet a person like Crawford, y'all have hated on. But in his rehabilitation that you see of bringing him back to his glory, you are asking him to live a life like that of Terrence Crawford. The same Terrence Crawford that his fan base has hated against the whole damn time. The irony of that is, oh my God, that's why I had to point it out. Always remember, spoils go to the victor. So don't stand behind nothing weak. Always said that. I don't get behind nothing weak. Spoils go to the victor. So that's why you can keep going back. And I remember when I did the video on Derrick James, some people came to me like, yeah, man, you really enjoyed that, didn't you? You took that personal and all that other stuff. I was like, I was just pointing out what was. I mean, if you ask me like, yeah, did I enjoy being able to come back and be right and enjoy the spoils of being the victor? Yeah, of course. That's the benefit of being right. You know what I'm saying? Or being down or working hard. That's the benefit. So, of course, I'm going to have some fun with that. Of course. But it's not as deep as y'all taking it. But nonetheless, in order to rebuild the guy, you guys are asking him to live like Crawford. I just think that's funny. Now you see why we like him. Now you see why he's so good. Now you see why he's gotten where he's got. Just saying. Just saying. You got to stop being a fanboy and a hater and get up off your knees, you know what I'm saying, and just give it up to a person sometimes. Damn, it's healthy for you. Giving props to other people is healthy for you, because one day that's going to be you, and you're going to want people to really embrace you. But instead, you're going to know it's somebody in the crowd that was just like you, halfway pretending, halfway smile, really don't want you to be there, want to take your spot if they could, would hate you out of existence if it was possible. Then that's the problem with the crap. But what happened to Errol Spence is simply this. Errol Spence is still a beast. He is still a dog. Keep in mind, This is Mr. Get off the couch with no tune-up. I've always been impressed by that. I always thought that was some dog ass shit. I've always spoke on that. Nobody does that in boxing. Okay? Eroll will. So that goes to show that he got it. This is the problem with the ability of being able to do that. It builds the wrong kind of habit. You never want to know that you can get off there and you can win a fight when you've halfway trained. Because you know what you're going to do? You know what you're going to do? You're going to do it again. It happened to Tyson. Tyson will tell you. He got to the point he was winning fights and he wasn't training. He was halfway training. Now, we know Tyson, probably next to Floyd, was a training mongrel. We know that. But once he figured out he could do this with half the effort and stuff like that, that creates a crack with a bad habit. And Errol Spence got caught in the bad habits. And it catches up. That's all that happened to him. He got the dog in him. He got everything he needs. He can get off the couch and do that. See, that's the problem. Knowing that you can do that. Just because you can do that don't mean that you should. And this is the problem with, I say personally, training genetically gifted people. They're the hardest to get on a consistent basis. Do you want to know why that is? And this works on different mediums too. Because these guys can do maybe 3 days of work and be where the guys who would put it in 2 weeks be at. They could do a little bit and get their shit right and be right back with the team like they ain't never miss a day. That's a gift, but after a while, that's going to become a hindrance. That's your problem. That's why people with me who are the most genetically gifted, I hate working with them. They're not hard workers. They have a consistency problem because they used to getting it like that so quick that they have a consistency problem. Those who really got to work for their shit, those are hard workers. Those are the one that put it in. 9 times out of 10, the person that you see at the top is not the best. It's the person who worked the fucking hardest. The best we ain't never seen because the best don't even get there. Because they lazy. That's the thing about talent and skill and drive and all that other stuff. You know, all that stuff got to balance out. But that's a mixture of what happened to Errol Spence. He knew he could do that and he was being able to do it. Plus living the life, plus being able to drink. And once when I've been living the life, being able to drink this and that, and I can still halfway train and go in there and still win a fight. Once again, it's not a good habit. You got to go back the other way. Now you need them to live a Spartan life. Now you need them to do that. Now that's all anybody was saying. But it took for Errol Spence to end up live on TV, so intoxicated, so high, that he couldn't even form a sentence. And what did you do? You barreled down in your brain and dipped in a denial box. You know what I'm saying? You dipped right in that denial box just to pull something out and make an excuse for it when you knew it was a bad look. So now you talking like this. But to me, Errol Spence can have it if he wanted. I just don't think he's there with it anymore. I think Errol Spence got to sell y'all a fight more than anything else. He got to prove to you that he's up to this. Because to me, if he was serious, Crawford wouldn't be the next fight. It wouldn't be the next fight. Not to me. If I was serious about continuing my career, Crawford wouldn't be the next fight. I would have one fight, then I'll go back to Crawford. And it's the reason why I'll do it, but I'll explain that later. Like, comment, subscribe. Bruce Van, I'm out.